Alright, y'all boys, we back with another video. Before I even get into any of this, no, your eyes aren't deceiving you. It's not 2015. I'm coming at y'all today with some MKX footage. Um, just to kind of do something new, I guess. It's been a good ass minute since I played MKX, and as y'all will see in this video, I do get wrecked quite a bit. Just doing a couple like single fight matches, couple single play matches just against the CPU to see just to kind of play the game a little bit and to at least give y'all at least some like close matches. Kind of like I said, I do get shat on in this video. I also have some practice footage at the beginning, just me in the lab, just to kind of elongate the video a little bit, just have more time to kind of talk about like whatever I'm going over for today. And yes, there is a YOLO x-ray in this video. Very scrubbish of me, I'm sorry. Hopefully in any future MKX videos I upload, or MK11 videos when that game drops, hopefully y'all won't see any of that. I'm sorry, I promise this is my last time. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to get the dub. But today, I just wanted to talk about, I guess, fighting games in general, and this was, I felt, the perfect, I guess, game to play for me to kind of talk about this, because as I said in yesterday's Gauntlet video, MKX is like my favorite game of all time, and I'm a majority fighting game player just in general. You know, fighting and sports games have always been kind of what I was always really into. I also played like a couple action and like adventure games and shit. I'm still a little sick, y'all. I'm sorry. Please just ignore this for now. Like I said, I should be back to about 100% sometime next week, hopefully. But like I do play action games and such, like here and there. Like, you know, I really love the Ninja Gaiden series. The Batman Arkham games are some of the best games I've ever played. You know, Sleeping Dogs is another one. That's another game that I really enjoyed, and you know, games like that here and there I'll play. But all in all, like, I'm a fighting game and like, you know, sports game player, you know, Madden, 2K, you know. And I just wanted to kind of talk today. Like I said, I feel MKX was just the best gameplay I feel I could put together for this video, because it is, like I said, my personal favorite game of all time. I don't think the shit's the best, nigga. Like, I don't think it's the best fucking game ever. It might not even technically be like the best fighting game ever, but it's just my personal favorite game. Like I said, when this shit dropped, I played this shit like an addiction. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I played this shit all day, every day. Like, anytime I could, I just played the hell out of this game. And that's kind of just what I wanted to talk about, I guess. Is just fighting games in general, and like some of my favorites, or you know, just things like that. And with MKX, I think I'll just start with them then, right? With MKX, I think what really kind of got me into this game and what made it like my favorite and everything was that I was always big into fighting games, or just martial arts really in general, growing up. Like, I remember, like, our brother used to come over, like our half brother used to come over a lot, and like anytime he came over, he'd bring, you know, because this was back when the damn OG fucking like Xbox, like the Xbox like one like the first one, nigga. And he'd bring over like a couple games and shit, and we played the OG like MK1, MK2, MK3 games like a lot. And like I said, at that time, I was just really huge into like martial arts and like martial arts movies and things like that, like Bruce Lee movies and stuff. And so The first character I've like ever played in an MK game was Liu Kang in MK1, and that was because, like I said, at that time I was really huge on Bruce Lee and like his movies and everything, and it's like, playing this Mortal Kombat game, and hey, here's a Liu Kang or a Bruce Lee motherfucker, and that's how Liu Kang became my like favorite character in the Mortal Kombat series. And then as I played more and more and like more of the MK games, Scorpion became another favorite of mine. And more so from like a design perspective, because I just thought that the whole yellow ninja shit was like cool, and I was like more into his gameplay than like Sub-Zero. I just thought Scorpion was just a cool ass nigga. And so Liu Kang and Scorpion were like my two favorite characters in MK like ever. And then these motherfuckers at NetherRealm decided for their 10th main installment in the series to make a mixture pretty much of like Scorpion and like Kenshi, and like mix him with a fucking Transformer G.I. Joe type nigga and make Takeda. And it's like, oh shit, and it's like, I know people would kind of say like, oh, how can Takeda, or just in fighting games in general, how can a character be your favorite character when they've only showed up in like one game or whatever? Listen, Takeda, like, that's the thing, like, I can't pick like a favorite between out of those three. Like, those are just my three favorite characters of all time. I just think Takeda looks so fucking cool, and I've never really been into a character in a fighting game from a gameplay perspective as much as I have been Takeda. Like, I've played probably around 3,000 matches with Takeda in MKX. Like, it's fucking ridiculous, like, how much I played this game and how much I played him in general, Like, it is really fucking crazy. And I guess transitioning from Mortal Kombat, those are just kind of my thoughts on that. Like I said, playing Mortal Kombat a lot as a kid, I kind of grew up to liking Mortal Kombat, and Mortal Kombat is my favorite fighting game franchise. And I'm not huge on Street Fighter. I shit on Street Fighter a lot, like outside of YouTube or just Capcom games kind of in general, but it's just like, it's just not personally for me. But I mean, obviously it does deserve the respect and everything that it does get, but I might save that for another video. But getting into Injustice, right? Injustice was another game that like I was super hyped for when Injustice 1 was coming out, because for whatever reason my brother used to do this shit a lot when we were younger. Is like, cause like he knew the type of shit that I like, so he knew I liked the superhero stuff and the fighting game shit and everything. And so he'd say, like, he'd just come in the room randomly as hell and make up shit, right? Like, he'll just make up a fucking game that sounds like some shit I would fuck with, and then I'd be like, really, and like, yeah, that shit, they just had a trailer drop, and this coming out in fucking next month or whatever. And I'd even probably like fucking call GameStop or some shit to see if that shit was real or something. And I remember he did this shit one time. He described some type of fucking game, I can't remember. If you guys remember the Xbox 360 game Ninja Blade, he described like pretty much a game like that, and pretty much saying that was like some new shit coming out. And so I called GameStop and asked them, like, is this shit coming out or whatever? And he told me the name of it, I can't remember, but they was just like, oh, I never heard of that shit, nigga. And like, he, whatever, humiliate myself and shit. But he used to do this shit a lot for whatever reason. And so he came home one day, like after he was hanging with his friends or some shit, like after school, and he came in the room, whatever, and he was like, Hobie, did you see this fucking like this game called Injustice. It's like a fighting game with superheroes, like DC superheroes made by the niggas that make Mortal Kombat. I'm like at first, you know, because I didn't see anything like about it, and I'm like, man, this nigga, like, just stop. And then he was like, no, like this time, like for real, nigga, like this shit coming out of it. So I called GameStop. Literally, I guess in hindsight or whatever, like I guess should have learned my lesson, but obviously Injustice ended up being a real thing, so I guess not. But so I called these niggas and I asked them, like, have y'all heard of this thing called like Injustice or whatever? Then as soon as the nigga said yeah, I was like, wait, what? And so I went and looked into it like as much as I could, see whatever information was out about it. I think at that point there was just might have been like the very first trailer for Injustice or something like that. I don't even remember who or what was in the first trailer, but as more stuff came out about it and that game dropped, I played that shit heavy as well. It was just like that was one of the first games I feel like I actually, because with fighting games I always loved them, but it's like a nigga was never really good at them type shit. Like it's just I played them a shit ton, but I wasn't like no pro type shit. And so Injustice was kind of the first game where I actually knew shit a little bit, cause I was a decent ass Nightwing in that game, because Nightwing is the GOAT of all comic book characters. But but I mean, to be fucking honest, completely, like looking back at it, outside of Nightwing and Batgirl slightly maybe, and a couple other characters, I was really not the best at the game. But then once like MKX came out and I started seeing, you know, the shit that was possible in that shit, and looking at the Fatal 8 tournament, if y'all remember that, when that was the tournament, I believe a week before the game came out, and seeing like all that shit, and I'm just like, alright, MKX is gonna be the first game that I like really get into, you know, like that I'm going to like force myself to learn how to play this and just fighting games in general to actually be good at them, you know what I mean? And so that's kind of what happened. I mean, you can't really tell from this video here because like I said, I played like complete shit, but you know, like if y'all were to see me in 2015, 2016 playing this damn game, like I was like deep into this shit. But and so I'm, you know, transitioning over to, you know, Dragon Ball FighterZ. I know I'm dick riding the game and, you know, hype beasting the hell out of it, talking about this game when the video isn't even about the shit, or I don't even have shit about the game in the video. But FighterZ it brings back that kind of hype for me, because like that MKX had, like I said in my last video, MKX, I had never been as hyped for a game ever in my life than I was for MKX. And for the longest I was like, I'm not gonna be this hype again for a game until MK11, you know, because I wasn't as hyped for Injustice 2 as I was MKX. Because at first, like, seeing Injustice 2, it's like, okay, it's hype, but obviously I personally like the MK gameplay mechanics more than Injustice 2, because, and for any motherfucker who is just like, oh, it's the same game with DC characters instead and there's no fatalities, nigga, no, the games are completely different games from a gameplay perspective. And I always like the MK like style of play more, so I wasn't as hyped for Injustice 2 when it was dropping. But like the gear system was what really got me into the game. It's like, yo, this shit is fucking fire, you know. And so that's what like really got my hype up for Injustice 2. But like I said, not as much as MKX. I don't like, overall I haven't even played Injustice 2 maybe as much as MKX. So, but you know, like I said, getting back into fighters, with MKX being the most hype game that I've ever like had or whatever, like I was hyped for that game more than anything ever in my life. And like I said, I didn't think I'd be as hyped for another game until MK11. And these motherfuckers at damn Bandai decided, hey, let's link up with damn Arc System and do a Dragon Ball Z game. And it's like, shit, I'm completely sorry about that, y'all. But as I was saying with Fighters, it was just so hype for me and brings back that hype that I had for MKX, and that just adds to it even more, you know. And like I said, I'll definitely be talking about the game in future videos and everything. But let me know, like, your guys's most like hypest games, fighting game or not, you know, your favorite games, your favorite fighting games, things of that nature. You guys just hit me up in the comments, let me know. Like, subscribe, you know, share, comment, everything. It's been Oreo Gaming coming at y'all. New videos all week, every week. I'll catch y'all boys next time, man. Alright.